Hello everybody, this is Namrata. Thank you very much for giving such a wonderful response on my LinkedIn post. Today I am here to tell you all about UPI and its functionalities. Before I start this video, I would like to tell you that I will be covering UPI from a very basic level, just in case if somebody is very new to UPI or they don't know anything about UPI, so they can have a look on this video and can get a very good idea about it. On the screen you can see I'll be covering what is UPI, technology used in UPI, bifurcation and types of UPI transactions, different parties which are involved in a UPI transaction. Most importantly, the transaction flow of UPI. Coming to what is UPI? UPI, as you all know, the full forms Unified Payment Interface. UPI is nothing but a mode of transfer between two parties, which is real time in nature. You can make instant payment which are real time, and you can transfer from one account to another, or you can also do merchant transactions. Nowadays you can even have mandates. UPI 2.0, you have a feature of buying an IPO through the mode of UPI. So you all know that when you want to send money to some other person, you use a UPI application. You press on the send button, you put on the details of other person, transfer the money through the UPI app. So you all know the basics from the front end of any UPI app. So today in this video I am going to tell you how it functions at the back end of UPI. And by the end of the video I will tell you the transaction flow of UPI, which will clear all your doubts about how UPI works at the back end. Coming to the technology used in UPI, UPI is all API based technology. API, as you all know, is application programming interface, which is nothing but a software which acts as an intermediary for two applications to talk to each other. So applications talk in their own languages. So API is that particular software which actually make them talk to each other. It's not like actually doing the chit chats and all. They send a request to one software to get some response in return. So these are the API codes UPI is based on. Coming to the bifurcations and types of UPI, if we bifurcate UPI, they are of two types: financial transactions and non-financial transactions. Financial transactions are those transactions where really the money is involved. Sending money to a person, you are making a merchant transaction, they can be categorized under financial transactions. Coming to the non-financial transactions, as the name suggests, these all are those transactions where the money is not involved. So these transactions will include when you change the UPI pin of your application, or even when you want to update your VPA, or you want to change the account or add an account. So these all are the non-financial transactions. So coming to the types of transactions, they are of two types: P2P and P2M. So P2P are nothing but peer-to-peer transactions when you are sending money to some of your friends or colleagues, or these all are P2P transactions. When it comes to P2M, as the name suggests, these are person to merchant transaction, where the merchant is involved in these transactions, where you are making the payment on Amazon, doing a transaction on Paytm for recharging your phone, and also these all are P2M transactions. Most of you are aware that there are different parties involved in a UPI transaction. So the UPI is called as a four-party model. Reason being, there are four parties other than NPCI in the transaction flow. So the four parties includes payer PSP, pay PSP, remitter bank, beneficiary bank. And apart from all these four parties, there is NPCI. So coming to payer PSP, I'll start with the full form. So PSP means payment service provider. So payer PSP is that third party application which a remitter customer is using. Who is the remitter customer? For an example, I am transferring funds to some XYZ person. So I am a remitter customer. The application used by me is a third party application, and that is the payer PSP involved over there. Into pay PSP. So pay PSP is the third party application used by the beneficiary customer, and in terms of merchants, it is the acquiring bank who has acquired that very merchant. Coming to the remitter bank, supposedly I am the person who wants to transfer funds to the other person. So the person who is transferring the funds from A bank, so that A bank is a remitter bank, and the person who is receiving the funds, so supposedly if some XY person is receiving the funds in B bank, so the B bank is the beneficiary bank. So you will be seeing a flow chart on the screen right now. To start any transaction which is P2P in nature, peer to peer or person to person in nature, it always begins with the payer PSP. I am going to explain you a very basic transaction flow of UPI. Any UPI transaction which is P2P in nature starts with a payer PSP. Payer PSP, as in this case, is a TPAP or any bank's UPI app. As you all are aware that once you want to transfer the funds to somebody, what you will do? You will go to a UPI app or a TPAP app and then you select the option of send money. After that, you enter the beneficiary details like account number IFSC or VPA virtual payment address of the beneficiary customer. You then enter the amount which you want to transfer. Then you enter the UPI PIN. Once you enter the UPI PIN, it goes to NPCI, and here if it is the account number and IFSC case, then it will directly go to the remitter bank for the debit. If it is a VPA case, then it will go to a pay PSP to get the required details. Post this, remitter bank will debit the customer's account and inform it to NPCI. NPCI asks beneficiary bank to credit the funds to the beneficiary customer. Once NPCI receives the positive response, then it will confirm the same to payer PSP and pay PSP. This is how you see the notification on your UPI apps for debit and credit respectively. And can you believe it happens in no time? This is the beauty of UPI. So on my LinkedIn post, I asked you all if you have any queries regarding UPI or you want me to cover any specific details about UPI. So some of them have commented. So I'm covering few of the queries. First one is which all PSP app support UPI. Second one is how many and which are the issuers. So on the screen you will be able to see the path where you all can find the details. It is all available on the NPCI website. Let me explain you what is VPA. VPA is virtual payment address. Supposedly if I want to have a VPA named as Namrata@Axis Bank, VPA is linked with a certain account number, and this is done by a third party application itself. So we go to a third party application which is payer PSP, and we actually make a UPI ID of ourselves, which on the basis of the availability they allot us a UPI ID, and every UPI ID has a unique account number linked with it. So I hope it covers all your queries regarding the basics of UPI, how UPI works, what is the flow of UPI, how UPI works at the back end. So thank you so much for watching till here. If you have liked this video, then please hit a like, do comment, please subscribe my YouTube channel. Thank you for watching. Stay safe, take care.